So, ma'am, your name?
Mine?
Your name.
Harmeet.
Yeah?
Harmeet from
Harmeet. So, Harmeet, you mentioned a very good point, and I think we've been listening it from our childhood days. जो दिखता है वही बिकता है. But in the OTA world, the logic has evolved, and I'm sure all of us understand. जो बिकता है वही वो दिखाते हैं. So yes, जो दिखता है वो तो obviously, but उनका agendas obviously are जो बिकता है वही. That's where benefits them.
So I'm sure demand supply curves are extremely sharp, but we need to use OTS to our benefit. We cannot do without them. We need them, but yes, as Rajesh said that the Western countries are at 80%, but if you ask me, I would not like to go above 47-48%. We don't want to become an OYO. We need to hold our guns. We need to understand what is the kind of a revenue percentage that you need from the OTA, and then please stop there. Because the moment you put X number of rooms at the same rate, you're draining your property. Don't do that. Your inventory control, extremely important. So you have to be very tight. As I said, it's a tight rope to walk on. You cannot ignore, but you cannot also have the kind of deeper pockets that these guys have. So use them to your benefit. There is no love lost there. Brand, of course, very, 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 very important, because that's where you are giving, you're showing what you are. And OTs, I don't think have the time and the money, have the time rather to spend on each brands, but it is us as brands who have all the time and money to spend our own brands. So have that thing in mind, and I think we can do wonders with that.
I think one more important perspective over here is obviously we want to reduce our dependencies on online world. At the same time, if we have dependencies on other segments, right? If we have a robust and a strong sales team who is able to build a strong sales business in advance, if we have a strong revenue team who is putting sound strategies, then all of this thing can be managed. If I am only dependent on OTA business, I have no choice. And as long as I have no choice, I have no option. So a scenario which happened about 2 years from what we've been experiencing, I think most brands, properties have sales teams and also have a revenue management team. The moment COVID came into picture, suddenly there was a lot of transition in the market, a lot of churning in the market. There were a perspective from a hotelier which said, यार business ही नहीं है market में, revenue manager को रख के क्या करेंगे? So the thought process was, धंधा नहीं है तो why to invest in it? There was other thought process which said, यार धंधा नहीं है market में, पर जितना है, this person can make a lot of difference. Because this is the time when you have 100 rooms in a specific area, and when you have a demand of 150 rooms, 100 room availability, 150 rooms, then getting that traffic to your property is very easy. But when you have a scenario when there are 100 rooms and 20 rooms demand, that is when a real revenue manager, strategies, all of that comes into picture. So amongst hoteliers, these were the two thought processes which came in last 24 months. So yeah, this is one of the scenarios which I came across. Yeah. Go ahead.
Okay, thank you, Sai, Harshita and Rajesh. This is to Harshita and Sai, of course. There is a perception that revenue management is more effective or needed in larger inventory hotels and not in smaller inventory hotels.
Correct.
So, what do you have to say to
They can
that?
afford their salaries.
So, we'll come to that.
So it depends on how much you're giving.
Today's time of multitasking.
It's negotiable.
It's negotiable. Well, no, I beg to differ. I do not think that's correct. I think revenue management is essential in any and every field of life today. Be it a smaller inventory, I think my smallest inventory is 23 rooms and my largest is 150. at the current moment. But I have also started my career with a small property, which is right here in South Bombay. So 62 rooms, 60 or 62 rooms odd. But I think the more you, I mean, revenue management is not limited to the number of rooms. It is more to do with what strategy and how well you want to place your product. Like as I said, I have a small hotel of 23 rooms in a super big area. But today I think I'm doing better than many brands that are around, and they are undercutting our pricing there. So I think, no, it is not limited to inventory for sure. So if the budget is a constraint, no, I think he's the right guy to catch.
Yeah. No, so thank you, Ishita. I can't promote myself directly, but
I did it for you.
so coffee is due next time. So see, we
We'll use your consultation.
yes. Sure. So the answer to this is businesses are meant to be optimized. It's 10-room hotel, 100-room hotel, 1,000-room hotel, or any kind of hotel. Businesses are meant to be optimized. When we plan a 10-room hotel, we plan business and cost accordingly. When we plan 100-room hotel, we plan our business and cost accordingly. So, irrespective of a business hotel or a leisure hotel or an alternate accommodation, every hotel needs a revenue. A person who thinks proactively, adapts to the situation, and then if I have a 100-room hotel or a 10-room hotel, nobody wants to keep it empty. Nobody says, oh, I'm happy with only 50% occupancy. Or a 100-room hotel, they don't say, oh, we are okay with 70-room occupancy. So there is a process, and there is an ever-evolving process. So our thought process is very simple. A simple case study is, we have a property in Bandra, in a very prime location. Right? The rates are anywhere above close to $250. Very, very small inventory property. It does exceptionally well. On any given day in a month, 95 to 98% occupancy. Competes with best of best brands. Certain days in a year, rooms have been occupied in that property at 60,000, 70,000 also. One room. So, the perspective of the owner is very simple. And then everybody has a perspective, and all perspectives are right. The perspective of the owner is very simple. I only need online business. I don't need offline business. Because online business, couple of days down the line, money is in the bank. There is a deduction in commission, but money comes straight to my bank. Right? Secondly, I take control of my pricing. Today I want to put 50,000 rupees as a price, I can put. Tomorrow I want to sell it at 5,000 rupees, I am empowered to do that. OTS don't come and tell me that what price I have to put. Right? And third thing is, he says, and it is not a right perspective, but that is his comfort. I don't have time to manage a sales team or supervise a sales team. So, that's a case study.
What is the current inventory that he has? Because I know that he started with 13 rooms.
Now it is 18.
It's 18.
So, I think we work closely with that hotel, and it's a case study.
Also, to add to it, there's a perception that business hotels who are running, good occupancies or full occupancies during the week do not need, revenue management over the weekend to garner occupancies, and vice versa for resort properties. So, is revenue management a 365-day exercise?
It's a 24/7, 365 days, trust me. And if you say that yield management is extremely important, because you put 10 rooms on 5,000, you get 50,000. You put 5 rooms on 10 and the rest goes on 12. That's your yield management. You need to do that. And it's a thankless job. I think all the revenue managers will agree.
Absolutely.
Absolute thankless job. But yeah, it's fun. Numbers are fun.
I think revenue managers as a species are misunderstood in the hotels.
We have a revenue group and we have a kind of a DP there. So it says, we as revenue, we are like those ninjas who are just not appreciated.
No, so in our work experience, because front office, kitchen, and all the core areas have a group of team members working. There is one isolated person who is looking at, who understands Excel, numbers, who talks आगे का थोड़ा, जो किसी ने देखा नहीं है. So that is where nobody understands him. And then obviously he is looking at certain areas which because we are more driven by guest service, guest focused areas. So that's where I said revenue managers are misunderstood.
I just want one question. It's a 365-day job.
Right.
Now, can you give me an illustrative? What should, after all, such a detailed job and all that, so could you or anybody of the participants give me an illustrative this thing? What kind of a report would you give to the GM at the end of the day as a revenue manager? What kind of a report would you give to the owners at the end of the day, at the end of a week, or at the end of a month? What kind of an illustrative report can you display so that everybody of the crowd knows what we are expecting?
No, so
An illustrative report at the end of the day.
Right.
What kind of a report would you expect to give to a GM?
right.
Or to a...
Sure. So let's start from the top. We
Very good question.
we talk about level of hotels and star categorization. And then so a revenue manager does his job, and then there is a management. As a general manager, a unit head is responsible to the corporate office as a team, right? Now, if a revenue manager has to validate his work, obviously he has done a great work. A GM has to validate his work. He has done an exceptional. Nobody is going to say, I have not done a great job. There are certain, and sir, you are associated with Radisson as a group, which is a global group. There are certain third-party reports. Now, there is a perspective which brands say that STR is the Bible. If I am good on STR, everything is good. Now, there is a perspective, STR अच्छा है, पर मेरे budget, what about my budget? We made a budget, good fancy budget, beginning of the year. Based on that, a lot of commitments have been made outside, inside. So that can be a tracking mechanism wherein a budget is made and then there are forecasts which are made. As we discussed earlier, if markets are upward, we revise budgets upward. If markets are downward, obviously it has an impact. So a comparison with a budget versus forecast. So one is STR, second is your budget, your forecast, and then there are multiple ways and means you can. For example, today we are in a big dilemma. Pehle it was very easy. If April is got over recently, we compare last year April and say in a standalone environment where there are no STRs, where there are no third-party reports.
You talk about my question. That's an analytical analysis, what you are talking about. I'm not talking about STR report, analytical analysis. I'm talking of a person, revenue manager, giving an update of his day's spend. Like a GM gives of various departments. The front office gives of various departments. What does he say? Okay, sir, I took out this rate today morning and I achieved it or I didn't achieve it. It is as simple as that. I want, because you are an experienced person.
Right.
So you can enlighten everybody what sort of a report at the end of the day they need to give to their superiors.
I can add value.
Yeah. So what side of a simple sample.
Maybe after Ishita I will add.
Sure.
Sorry,
Sure. So what kind of a report? I think, Mr. Mehra, we as senior management or we as management need to be a little patient because when you want to see numbers, the numbers will only show their value when it is done on a fortnightly or a monthly basis. If you're going to burn our blood every morning or every night, I think that's going to add. We are surely going to start taking depression pills very fast. So we should not do that. But however, at the end of the day, I think the report that your revenue management or your FOM together can give you is how many rooms that they had to sell in the morning, at what rate, and vis-a-vis, how is that they close the day? So what you can effectively see is what is the rate difference and what is the occupancy difference that you had on a daily basis. That will help you channelize your rates, and that will help you get a much larger yield.
So, sir, to add to what Hishita said, I think the working in global setups with multiple brands, the most important parameter where a revenue manager gets judged on a daily, weekly or a monthly basis or any point of time is forecasting and forecasting accuracy. How he read the market, what he made out of the market, and what is the ground reality. And that's good enough. We look at certain global brands, and in as dynamic market as US, in state like California, two ways only to judge a revenue manager's performance is STR and forecast. If forecast is achieved, he anticipated the market. If good things were coming, he forecasted accordingly. If good things were not coming in the market, he forecasted accordingly. And end of the day, he ensured that it is achieved. So that is the most important parameter you should look at it. And that is how globally it is looked at.
Thank you, Sai. Hishita, tell us something. While pricing is the most important factor, what other critical areas of revenue management process do you believe are important, and what are its successes?
As I said, pricing alone cannot get you the numbers that you want. You need to place your product correctly, put up your data into OTAs or your brand. Your content plays a major role. Your pictures play a major role, because if you've not updated your pictures, I know hotels who have not done a shoot for like 10 years. Where they've upgraded their property, but that is not like how I would agree with her when she says, "Do dikhta hai, wo bikta hai." So please do that. Also, culminative marketing, be it your sales team, be it an online, offline sales team, that also adds value. Your reputation management includes what is the kind of a relationship that you have in your B2B market and your B2C market as well. What is the reputation that you have in the heart of your guest? You know, like how she said that, OTAs were holding back money. So there are a lot of fences that you need to work around, which will give you the result. But yes, again, as I say, please have the required patience. The moment you set in these correct fences, which can differ from a hotel to hotel, please let that set in, and I'm sure your revenue management strategy will work.
Thank you, Ashita. I believe what you're saying is all aspects are important and they have to be given equal weightage. Now, let's move on to technology. I think let's start with Rajesh. Rajesh, how do you think technology, will help hoteliers, or rather is helping and will continue to help hoteliers? It has helped us in the pandemic. We all seen that. What role will technology play in the future? I mean, with AI and ML, we hear about all these terms. So, what do you think is the future, in hospitality with respect to technology? Your views, please.
Just like revenue management felt the heat when COVID hit, I truly believed that I was scared that people would shun technology and leave technology when COVID came in. But I was so surprised where India is concerned. We did not lose hotels. In fact, more than 14 chains joined Star during this time, and we continued to add more and more hotels. And when we entered India as Star, we were like 0 hotels, but of course, today we crossed more than 2,500 hotels only in India. And during the COVID period, we continued to add on a monthly basis. Currently, we are adding more than 100 hotels a month are signing on with Star. So, clearly there is a shift where people have recognized that technology is important. And there's one product that I would like to, talk about, which is so weird, is the gift voucher engine. And it was a product that, we had launched 2 years before COVID. And we had around 50 chains that were using it. But during COVID, I don't know what happened. The Radissons, in fact, so many of the larger chain Marriotts, all of them approached us And today, of course, we have more than 200 chains using it, including Lemon Tree, Fern, all of them started using it. But it's people came in with options, book now, travel whenever. Even when the hotels were shut, somebody like Orange County, they made, I have a chain in Sri Lanka, also Maldives, Amaya Group. They were cash crunched during that time. And the owners went to the people and said, can we have some revenues? We require 6 crores urgently. And you'll not believe it, that in a matter of 15 days, they got 6 crores worth of revenue just because of the gift voucher. And how they did it is they came out and they only went back to the old customers. They made a program saying that, do 3 nights with meal included, book now, travel whenever. And they kept an incentive to the team. They all started calling up their old clients and they said, sir, book it on, we have a gift voucher engine and just go online and just book it. And you can please tell your friends. And these guys hit more than 6 crores worth of revenue just in 15 days. So technology does play an important part. The reason why I'm at Star is because Gavin Jeddo, who's a founder, met me at a dinner party on a terrace and spoke to me about reputation manager. Now, this is something that I want to highlight over here, how important technology is, and the core of any business is customer experience. If you've hit a smile on your customer's face, I think you've made money. Now, theoretically, it sounds all good, but does it actually happen? Trust me, it does. So we have Rosette Group of hotels in Delhi, and they have complimentary late check-in. Of course, they charge, and you see the rates going. They are more full than a Taj or a Oberoi. They are rated so highly, the Rosette Group. We all know of the Rosette Group. So I'm just saying that customer experience is so good. How do you manage your KPIs for your customer feedback? Now, technology can really help you there. Now, do managers like Hashita or Harmeet who are handling, 8, 10 hotels, do they have the time to sit and see every hotel? They require quick data for quick decision making. And even if you are handling a one-room property, there was so much discussion going about revenue management. I mean, if you're handling a home, do you need food to eat or no? It's a question. So if money is important, revenue management is important, and investing in good technology will always remain important. Thank you.
Thank you, Rajesh. So, another one with respect to technology to all of you. Will tech help counter overbooking? That's one. And can tech assist in increasing direct bookings to generate better revenue by saving commissions payout to OTAs? I think that's where is
direct
with the interest of everyone.
I think the second one first, because all the hoteliers, many of them are looking at direct booking.
Yes, of course. I think you should take this up question first.
Is direct booking possible? Very much possible. I have good chains. If you know Sanjay Naram of Ambassador, he's set up this beautiful chain in Scotland called Black Sheep Hotels. 70-80% of his booking is direct. We have Akron Waterfront in Goa, 3 hotels. 70-80%. Tella, Jimmy Mistry, he's doing 70-80%. So much of direct bookings, depending on how you want to drive it. But exactly like she said, there are certain parameters you need to conquer to get direct bookings. It's a process. It takes 1 or 2 years. You will spend on SEO time, but that does not mean you're not spending on SEO. That's also cost. So what's your cost of acquisition? So you have to be smart. But yes, direct bookings very much possible. 80-90% direct bookings possible. You first require rate parity. That's a key element. Your rates on all the OTAs have to be the same, and your booking engine has to be lower than all of those, right? And regarding overbookings, double bookings that you just asked me,
yes,
I can't tell you, such a beautiful period for all the hotels now. I'm so happy to see everybody. I spoke to at least more than 100 hoteliers, and I think 90% of them said we are 100% occupied. Such a great feeling. I mean, I can't tell you. But what happens when you're 100% occupied? There's a chance that you'll get overbooked, right? And can you rely on technology there to see that if you have 60 rooms, you should not get a 61st room booking, right? No, I'm saying that if you have 60 rooms occupied, why should you get a 61st guy coming and saying that I have got a booking? It should not be allowed, technically. Okay,
I think it's a good problem to have.
Yeah, it's a good problem to have.
It's a good problem.
But overbookings is a problem, and it can be controlled, right? Because and there are many ways to do it. And the main thing is that you should be. What does your channel manager do? It just updates rates and inventory in real time. Is it real time? That's a question. 120 seconds. But when you book that room, you should be knowing that if it's updated from a booking.com or your IDS, what time did it get updated? So that you don't get that double booking. Harshita says I keep 65 rooms extra because she's got, I think they're going to hit more than 100 hotels soon. But so she doesn't have a problem. She can move her customers from one hotel to the other. But for us, frankly, if a customer has only 20 rooms, it's a big challenge to have 5 more customers standing. मैंने पैसा भरा है अगोड़ा में. मुझे room चाहिए. So it can be avoided, and happy to discuss more. We have stop sell limit, something that you can do. Your last 5 rooms you can only keep for yourself. Those are the money making rooms, right? So you can keep it. You can stop selling in the OTAs and you can only keep it for yourself. But happy to go on more. But I think the value of time, happy to stop it.
A question to you.
Yeah, please.
You see, you have a comparative in your software, which gives you the 7 hotels you select. At the bottom of it, you give the rates of the competitive hotels which you have selected in your software.
Correct.
You see, the 7, but it is never real time. It is never real time, not realistic at all. I'm talking of your software itself.
So you're talking about a rate stop.
So if you open it now also and you see the real time and you go and check it with Make My Trip, you go and check it with Booking.com, there is never a real time effect of it. So if anybody goes on that and sees what is the competitive rate running, he would be misled.
So happy to look at it if you are facing a challenge. We've
which something which should have, which should generally, I don't know if it's a technology, it should happen immediately as per one of them, whether you could have 2 parameters, one with the main operators, like you are picking up the data from, only you could specify data has been picked up from Make My Trip or it has been picked up from Booking.com, so it will be real time. So I cannot ask you, okay, from where your data is coming. You could say it will be from XYZ here.
Correct.
So I can't question you because you are not specifying from where your data has booked real time. You have a comparative there at the bottom of it.
No, happy to look at it.
7 hotels, you have something like that.
Yeah, we have 5 hotels.
5 or 7.
In comparative, but happy to look at it as if it's a challenge. Happy to make it work. But I like to tell you.
What happens? You will outbeat everybody else if you are able to bring it real time. You will outbeat and make the job of a revenue manager down.
No.
You see, I'm saying it, you have to improve the technology even further. At your end.
Correct. So your point noted, and I kind of agree with you. Right? You're saying that the technology would become much more better if the rate shopping became better. But
I take up this issue with even MR.
But and you're right, Mr. Mehra. But I'll just like to tell you that it is an important aspect. But we have more experts. For example, you can't have an Italian chef making Chinese food for you. The same way the rate shopping is, there are ideas if you've heard of OTA Insights. These guys are experts. We have other technologies, even in fact, they have come out with a technology called RevC. That feeds in the rate, looking at so many other parameters. Now, of course, in Star we have looking at occupancy, your room types, rate plans, and all of that. But the reason why we've been frankly successful and why we've been more successful than the others, Agoda shared with us that right now Star is the highest revenue generating software in more than half of the globe. I'm talking about Oceania, I'm talking about Southeast Asia, and I'm talking about Indian subcontinent.
It's very well known. It's a brand which is
because of the support, and mainly because it actually updates in real time, which are other software.
When you talk of mineral water, you say distillery. See, something like that.
Correct.
You reach the level where some kinds of doing a...
But we now attach many other rate shopping tools to Star. We have more than 7 or 8 very international ones. Even OTA Insights, for example, can get attached to our technology, ideas can, and RefSeed can, and many more. So you can make it better, but your challenge with rate stock, I'm happy to look at it right now.
So sir, in terms of your question about, so Mr. Mehra, in terms of your rate, your query specifically, if there is a rate shop, the source is unknown, right? So as Rajesh said,
You can't blame him for that.
no, so
If the source is known, I could blame him.
no, so there are
If the source was displayed,
My wife blames me every day. It's okay, you can continue.
so there are systems because we face this challenge with our US portfolio, because the markets are so dynamic that the rate changes happen quite frequently, maybe close to the airport about 12 to 15 times overnight. So there are systems like Market Drone or OTA Insight, where if you click on a rate, it will take you to a source, what time, all of that detailing can happen.
What it does not do is pick up the discounted rates which are displayed on the OTAs. This is the challenge. You are picking up from the source, but the discounted rates with the geniuses and the MMPs are completely
become like a stock
different, which is
exchange.
what he's saying. So that is the rate one needs to see.
Right. No, there are, see,
The display rate. This is the challenge. So when I look at rate stock, I never look at it because it is, as he says, it doesn't exist. So I have to go, if I want to check my competitor's rate, I have to find another tool, or I have to physically go on the platform and look at the rate.
so there are various, for example, for pricing decisions, it's up to a specific revenue manager or a company to look at what they want to see. For us, what we look at is the lowest possible rate on MMT because of coupon. And also we compare it with booking.com. But in global markets, there is nothing called as coupon code discount. It is all rate, what you see is what you get. So in India being a unique market, not even Africa, India is the only market across globe where this coupon code kind of unique proposition exists. Rest, you go to Sri Lanka, you go to Africa, you go to US, there are quite mandates that these things don't happen.
Yeah, but that's because MMT could not match up with what booking.com was doing. He stacks all the rates. So he opened book coupon discounting to kind of figure it out. So that is the way they are playing their own game.
Somewhere I think we've all been party to it, right? At some point of time, we've all enjoyed the party, so they are doing what they are doing.
Okay, thank you, Sai, Ashita, and Rajesh. Now, with brand recognition, especially during the COVID times where hygiene and safety has become very imperative and important, also we've seen increasing number of hotels added to the international and domestic chains. Will individual hotels find it difficult to sustain cost of technology, softwares, hiring high-paying revenue managers, maintaining standards, opting for franchisee versus management contracts? Will they go with brands who will strategically help them tide over the risk involved in this recovery phase, or will they go on their own? Also, some have already crossed over, I believe, during the pandemic and are currently. So what are your views and thoughts on this? Ashita and Rajesh, please. Thank you.
Yes. Okay, yes, I think standalone hotels, I mean, I have worked from a standalone to a group to a chain now. So, yes, I feel that if they tie up with the right group, be it anybody, if you feel that that's going to add value, yes, I feel please go ahead. Because end of the day, a standalone will have a challenge in terms of course, the kind of costs that we have. But a chain will have the right people, the right set of people, the right technology. That is why they are a chain today. Then it can be anybody. It's not that it has to be a a Taj or somebody. It's not like that. Any chain will have the correct resources for you to come up. And I don't think, recently, since we are in a phase where we are taking up a lot of hotels and all, and hopefully, like he rightly said, let's wait for another 2-3 weeks and we'll give you a really good news coming your way. So, yes, I don't think individual hoteliers will lose their identity, because I think when I met a few owners that are now associated with us, they did feel ki nahi, mera naam. Because it's their hotel, they have built it with their money, with their time, their effort. I don't think you're going to lose identity. In fact, you can rebrand. And please join a group where you will have the correct people. You will have answers to a lot of things that primarily I don't think sitting in that office with, where limited reach. I think you will have a much more professional approach. I also am of the opinion that I don't think everywhere profession works. I think our group is based more on relationships. That is why the success, God's grace. But relationships go far more longer than processes. If you have the right relationship, you have the right trust in the group that you're joining with, I think it's worth the plunge. That's my take on it. Rajesh?
Yeah, I think we are seeing amalgamation happening in India, especially I think COVID has accelerated the process. Many single hotel owners are finding it challenging to maintain staff, upgrade technology, or even hire. For revenue management specifically, you were saying that is it worth it keeping a revenue manager? So I think the larger hotels can afford a good revenue manager because his salary will be so high. But then there are good revenue management companies like Size where for a small monthly fee you can afford revenue management at a very reasonable cost, right? So I think if money is important to you, it's important. But I think the amalgamation process, you get so many more advantages of good processes, not the challenge of staffing, revenue management. I think everything comes as a bouquet, right? Please.
And when you join a group, it's not only about revenue management. You also get operational support, you get owner-to-owner support, you get revenue management, you have a sales team, you have a much larger sales team. Because like you rightly said, you won't be able to have a 20, 25, 30 people sales team. And RSO is an expensive commodity. You won't have that. So when you are joining a group, there are a lot of perks that come with it. Of course, as owners, I know that we hold on to our revenues, we don't want to share, but I think that mindset needs to change now.
So how many groups and chains would there be in India? Any wild guess? I couldn't believe it that Star has just crossed over 100 groups and chains in India itself. Can you believe it? And just now, just last week I was looking at figures, 104 to be precise. At least with 3 hotels or up. And you will not believe it, more than 30 of them have more than 35 hotels. Huge! And the kind of growth that we are looking at, I'm going to name a few. Subha, of course, is one of them. Sarovar, Lemon Tree, Fern, these are the big ones that are going to cross 100 very soon. Clark's is such an old chain. So there's so many hotel chains that are going to come in now. We also, Ramada uses Star, Radisson's, we have more than 20 Radissons in India that use Star. So surely there are a lot of advantages of joining a chain, but not to say I have so many single properties, right, that are doing so well. Look at Khyber, for example. Does it need to add to a chain? I think it will be a privilege for any chain to acquire Khyber, for example. So there is, we have many such hotels, right, many marquee hotels in India. The Brajrama Palace that belongs to the Clark's Group, such a beautiful property. And
we've taken over a chunk, by the way.
But that one did.
We've acquired 1,500. We don't want. We've acquired 1,500. I don't know.
Yeah, but see,
they're left with 6.
Yeah. No, they're but the
6.
other.
I took away 35.
Correct. So amalgamation is a part and process, I think, of growth of India. I think it's bound to happen. At the same time, we see marquee, beautiful properties coming in, holding on their own also. Because India is an entrepreneurial country by nature, I guess. People love to own their business. Yeah.
Yes, sir.
So,
What about the problems when a hotelier joins a brand group? I mean, with the staff and other things and...
So what happens is it's...
the pros and the cons.
So I think it differs from owner to owner, because we've just taken over 1589 last year, and I know the kind of issues that the owners have had, but thankfully with the way, again I'm not promoting my product, but what I'm saying is with the kind of service or the kind of relationship that we build with each of them, I think what they faced for the last few years, that has gone off in less than 6 months. And the kind of numbers that they have seen, they have not seen in the past so many years, I think they've seen already. And today, thankfully, I think I can proudly say that our brand has managed to win over their trust. So today, if you call any of our owners who are currently with us, they will only have success stories to talk about. Problems, yes, staffing is one of the biggest issues that the industry is facing currently. I think we were just talking about it just before the seminar. That's, staffing is a major issue. But again, when you join with a brand, they have their own consortia for HRs also. So, which you cannot reach individually, the brands will reach at a much higher level. And when you also join with a brand, they also, at least we do, we work according to what the hotel owner's expectations are. Today, I cannot give you a revenue manager worth 50,000 rupees, because as a small, I'm really sorry, I don't know which hotel you're from, but...
Hotel Godwin.
Sorry?
Hotel Godwin, Colaba.
Godwin, okay. Very, yeah. So, for Godwin also, so what is your inventory? 51. So for a property of 50, 60 rooms, I don't think I can give you a sales guy worth 50,000 or so we understand that, and because we are owners also, we are not a management company. So Suba owns 15 hotels, and we have taken 159 and one more group coming up in the next 3 weeks. So we understand, because we ourselves are hoteliers, we understand where it pinches the pocket. We also know where, like she said, that the revenues get drained because of commission levels and all. Because we are owners, we understand. So
our main problem is removing the old staff who has been with us for 20 years and 25 years.
Okay. So that goes into, you have a union issue.
I mean, sometimes.
Yeah. So I think what happens is, if you have older staff, they are, we also have people who worked with us for 30, 35. You know Suba Palace, which is right across. Yeah. So we have staff who have worked with us for 30, 35 years, and if they are a pain, I think...
Yeah, neighbors and Apollo Hotel.
Yes. So if we have staff who worked with us for over years, and if they are a pain, there is a way to get rid of them. But in our thing, it is. But of course, I mean, you need to tweak the correct things, and
you have to pay them well and...
Yes.
So,
then go on a fault finding mission.
So
I don't think you need one.
So the clear value which comes with a brand is when you put a flag of a brand, the value of the asset.
It goes up.
It for example, let's take an example of Sami Hotels, right? They are into hotel asset business, right? Their business model is very simple. They will acquire an asset. They will bring a brand to run the show. They don't get involved in managing the hotels or running the hotels. So their business model is very asset based. Why they get a brand? Because they don't want to get involved themselves. And their business model is asset. So the clear value is asset value goes up. Distribution with brand, they are available globally, known globally. Loyalty. If a Hyatt member or a Hilton member or a Marriott member is coming from X market, and if he is coming to Mumbai, because globally loyalties are very strong, he would look for a Hyatt or a Hilton or a Marriott based on his membership, right? Fourth, life becomes easy. We don't get involved into staffing, operations, talent hunt issues. So these are clear values. Now with all this comfort, there is a problem that they take certain percentage of your profitability, right?
And we really need it.
So
That's justified how much?
We talk after this.
So with brands, they end up managing the show, and they talk straight percentage out of the profit. Also, certain brands which are recognized brand, and even if you want to get them, straight feasibility study of the market, all of that is a huge sum of investment before the talks are even initiated. A minimum of 1 CR investment if they want to do a feasibility study and they want to put a flag on a specific hotel, depending on market to market, hotel to hotel, country to country. So it involves investment.
And also as owners, I mean, we need to be graceful. So if there is a brand that you're associating with, they are putting all their time, money, everything. So, but when it comes to management fees, the owners need to be a little more nicer and pay on time,
So with COVID also, there are very clear models, like there is a management model where the brand takes control. There is a franchise model where owner takes control. But there is something which is a third party model which is evolved, where a third party will come and manage the show. They will bring brand, and where profitabilities are much higher. There are many third party models in India, globally also, where the owners end up having better control, having a brand, having a better profit ratios.
Thank you, Sai, Heshita, and Rajesh. We'll open the session for Q&A now. Yeah, please go ahead with your questions, if any.
Good time to ask any questions if you all have any doubts. We'd love to give the mic to Mr. Mehra again.
I have a question. Sir, I think I've looked up to you in my young age, and now you're seeing a great difference in what hotel industry used to be years ago and what it is now. So what is the change that you feel? Because you're a veteran in the industry. Mr. Ramani.
My hotel, there's not much change. Occupancies are
The
good.
industry has a change. What is the change that you see?
I've not noticed any change.
Same functioning, the same people coming in.
Yeah.
Heritage, the hotel is a heritage.
All regular customers mostly.
Thank you, sir. Anybody else? Any questions?
I'll tell you the change.
Sure, please.
The change is that you don't have seasoned hoteliers like him who
I
are
agree.
there making hotels anymore. You have people from other industries, because hoteliers never made money. People from other industries have made money. From the transport industry have made hotels. From various industries have made hotels. Hotels are a passion. No,
But you can see our hotels, they are far more passionate than most of the things that you have around.
But they were passionate about their hotels. These people
So are we.
entered. Today you have hoteliers where builders are making money because of the brands. The brands are running those hotels at 8% and taking care of your money. That is why you have that is why you have the growth of hotels.
Yes.
You don't have DLF and all these people
So
exiting
what we did
hotels.
was we just diverse funds from
That's
one of
what I'm
our
saying.
business
So you
and built a
so they
hotel.
had
So
surplus
Subha
funds.
Palace is not
There
a
were
new
surplus
hotel.
funds in the steel industry. There were surplus funds in
Yes.
the various other industries which made money, and those people got enamored. There was the glamour which brought people to hotels. It was
I
the
would like to
glamour.
add to that.
It was the
So-
ego. It was an ego trip that glamour.
Oh, well, I like to
glamour
add to that.
associated
What
with
happens is when
You
you're
see,
from
that
a
is why
different
hotels-
industry.
Passionate people like West End, Ritz,
So
all
just
these
to
people.
add to that, Subha Palace has been a passion because
Very
it's a
big passion.
50-year-old hotel.
But from some other industry.
No.
But from the transport.
Subha Palace is a 50-year-old
But
hotel,
it's a
sir.
50-year hotel, but from the transport.
That's
At the end
okay.
of the day.
How does it matter
There's a
where you
shift.
get the money
I'm
from?
not getting into that. I'm just saying there is a shift from people from other industries into this. And when you ask him that question, there is a shift.
Yes.
That is what I said.
Yes.
There's a shift.
So the passion comes
There's
from a
always
word
shift
called
which will happen
hospitality,
because
which cannot be
industry
defined
cannot-
only to hotels.
Because hotels cannot pay the kind of debt which is happening. That is why you have hotels collapsing with high debts. It is the debt which is people from other industries can enter where the debt is not there. You see, in India today at 6,000 rupees, you cannot service the kind of expenses which are there involved with the hotel unless you have money which has flowed from other industries.
So the passion of hospitality is not only for hotel industry, because
West
all,
End is a very well-run hotel.
of course,
It's one of the finest hotels.
Of course.
You go for heritage look, you go to the Grand, there is a heritage look, there is passion. There is
True.
passion with the owners.
True.
They would have moved on elsewhere otherwise.
So passion cannot be, cannot be put in one bracket. When you come to hospitality, it is a very, very big word. And for us, all our three businesses that we are catered, we are all customer-driven businesses that we have. So be it transport, or be it a cold storage, or be it hotels. Today we are the second largest cold storage company in the country. That did not come without passion of customer service. That did not come without a passion of hospitality. And Suba Palace is a 50-year-old hotel where we started, I'm sure the old generation would know, we started with mere 4 rooms. It was earlier called as Suba Guest House. So,
Cheers. The way you've grown.
thank you. Thank you. So for us to go from 4 rooms to a heritage property today, it's not been an easy ride. And of course, yes, our transport division is where the money comes from. But having said that, to have 15 hotels at that strata has not been easy, and then, of course now the acquisition, touchwood, has been going good. So 4 rooms to 2200 rooms has not been an easy journey. Thank you.
But this is how, I think if we look at hospitality a couple of years back, this is how the storyline has been. Way back in 80s, 90s, there came GDS. They said, we will bring you a global distribution system. We will make you available on the global map with huge sum of commission, transactions, booking. They made a lot of money out of hotels. Over the period came consolidators. They made huge money out of hoteliers. Now there are online channels which are, and I'm sure in front of our eyes we see them growing, and they are making money. Tech companies which are making money out of hoteliers. Also the concerning bit is, as sir rightly said, the traditional hoteliers have not grown. They have stuck with one hotel and the passion continues, but there are reasons for not multiplying, or their personal aspirations also may be the reason. So hospitality storyline has always been, others have come and made huge money. While it is wrong to say hoteliers have not made money, because if we have survived for so many years, we would have made some money, not too much money.
But also, thanks to the older generation, you all have trained us. I mean, I have trained under Shalimar. I worked with Shalimar for 8 years. So I know that's again, I think Shalimar is 56, 57 years old now. So I started my career with aviation, and then of course with hotels I started with Shalimar. So I think again standalone, again core hoteliers, I think everybody knows Mr. Advani here. So been there, done that, but yes, the growth has to be there. We cannot be stagnant.
Even Meras have grown so well in the last 4 years.
Absolutely, yeah.
Hats off to them.
Is there anything else that anybody would like to discuss? There's just one aspect, you were speaking about OTAs earlier. I just want to add in before, if we don't have anything else to discuss. Ease My Trip, Happy Easy Go, right? These are new channels that are there. But there's a new trend for the channel manager where B2B business is coming across. So now, I mean, Shita would know there's TripJack, Trip Factory, Hyperguest. The Indian Railways is coming as a channel, right? IRCTC is a channel. Club Mahindra is the latest, they use Star also. And Club Mahindra is coming in as a OTA. So that's the new one. They have 7.5 lakh members who are Club Mahindra members. Yeah, and they are coming in, as OTA, right? So there's a lot of B2B business business also that you can get from your technology other than the OTAs also, right? And this could be fixed rates, derived business, B2B. That so your advantage of using a good technology also comes in. Yeah, that's just one aspect.
I agree.
Anybody else has any doubt, would like to ask something? You have a top-notch revenue manager, you have a large chain, and you have a love technology.
Some light on OTS to be avoided.
Yeah.
I can give you a list.
You know,
Oyo,
yeah.
Oyo and all.
Oyo is not an
Oyo is not a
OTA.
OTA.
Aggregator, whatever you call.
Yeah.
I can give you a list. I'll share this with you because as Suba, we are very, I would not say conservative, but we are very careful about where we go. Paytm put tremendous pressure on us to give them their rates and inventory, but we did not. And Paytm went down in no time. And honestly, we were not expecting it because the kind of the funding that they got, it was exuberant, but they went down in no time. So you need to be a little careful. I'll share a list with you.
Thank you.
So there is a fact that I want to share with you that I think 90% of your online business will just come with a few channels, right? I want you to know, so don't go running behind we are connected with more than 200 channels in Star as of today, but you don't need 200 channels. But it's always good to have these fresh ones come in. Like she's right, like Gumo didn't survive, right? Gumo was such a large.
It just went down.
Yeah,
in
same
weeks.
thing for others. But it's always good to try because I believe Happy Easygo and Ease My Trip are doing good
They're
business.
doing good now.
Yeah, so they're doing good business. And no harm in trying out a few. But I think 90% of your business will come in from the top
But
5.
with now ClearTrip coming up, they've actually absorbed most of the crowd from Ease My Trip and Happy Easygo. So we are actually struggling on getting the work done from them.
Yeah.
ClearTrip is now, they've got a funding from Flipkart. So ClearTrip is yet to, I think first week of June is when they are starting operations.
Which channels to avoid, I would like to answer that question, is depending on your strategy. Right? Now, a lot of people during COVID wanted discounted pricing and wanted the hotels to fill in. So then, at that point of time, Make My Trip was discounting and they help you to get in the hotels with a discount. No harm in that. So, what may be food to one, may be poison to the other. But to a lot of people, maybe discounted pricing may not be good. So Agoda, which is actually a co-brother of Booking.com, and they are all friends, but I'm just going to tell you, Booking.com does not discount directly, but Agoda discounts then for you. So you can choose one partner to discount if you like to. Yeah, you can do that. But a lot of people like to maintain rate parity. And if they like to maintain rate parity, then you can avoid the channels at discount. But by the way, you can tell the OTA that we will cut you out if you discount our products. If that's not the route that you want to go.
We've done that. I mean, back in 2016, we were the first group in Western India to stop couponing, and then it was followed by Hermi. So it was not an easy decision.
Yeah,
It wasn't an easy decision because at that time we were using Star, so I think Tarun and everybody were in the office at 9 o'clock in the morning saying, oh no, that's a bad decision. But no, that's not a bad decision. I think this was somewhere in March 2016 that we started,
Yes.
and she did it in April or May, if I'm
And I
not.
stood by it, and it was like shut for
A really long time, yeah. And trust me, when the merger happened, when the MMT-GI merger happened, we were the groups who were not affected because we did not put all our eggs in one basket.
We were not dependent on them.
We were not dependent on them. And at that time, I think the two of us were spoken about the most. That risk ले रहे हैं.
Jhansi ki Ranis.
नहीं कि दो लड़कियां risk ले रही हैं, they don't know business, and I think
But the best part is our owners were standing by us.
Trust.
Our managing directors were
They
always
did.
by
They
us.
did. That's why I said
And
trust
without
your
them,
people.
It wouldn't have happened. And they trusted us. Yes.
And today I think we are seeing the results.
Yes, when there is support from the top, I think everything works fairly
Well,
well.
no, and trust me, it's not easy to get that.
How to convince them? Yes.
It's not easy to get them to trust you.
Absolutely.
And plus, also let me tell you, as women, we face a lot of other issues.
But I want to ask you one question,
We'll have to
Ishita.
plan a seminar for
Women empowerment.
No, I truly want to ask you one question on behalf of, for a 51 hotel like Godwin. And today, if Make My Trip is discounting him without his consent.
Stop it. You have all the right to do it.
You can
But
go
then,
ahead.
but then
Just
won't
ask
he,
for a
won't
DA.
he, won't he lose business?
So, if you're going to start discounting, you're going to get into rate parity. Hence, your other OTAs will not produce. Booking.com, see, for South Bombay, Booking.com is not doing great, we all know. It is.
We are quite happy with Booking.com. We are
Sure.
more happy with
MakeMyTrip.
and also Go.
See, but MakeMyTrip Go is ideally one company. Agoda and Booking.com is Priceline. So, what happens is, don't open your doors, don't open different doors to different people. Open one door for everybody. Make one promotion all across. Because the moment you have rate parity, then that is actually when you will know where your customer loyalty comes from.
No, we don't believe in disrespect. We believe in
Because coupon discounting is a killer. And I think it's proven by
So
now.
be careful of coupon discounting. There's one topic that I want to come up on, and which all of you will be surprised, is OYO, right? And I think we can, so every mechanism can be used. I think we have a winner over here with Harmeet. If you know what they did with OYO, I think is a history. They are the first few people who made money out of OYO. Right, so if you want to know how, I think contact her right up. They actually folded hands and they told Vikram that nahi abhi aur nahi karenge. I think that's something that you can contact Harmeet right after this. Yeah, I think that's it from us. I'm happy to close it.
Yes.
Does anybody have any questions?
So, the OTAs which don't integrate with your systems, are the OTAs not to be considered because obviously they don't.
No, but nowadays most of
the system.
We are very thankful to Star for helping us.
Thank you, sir. So you, Mr. Ramani, are the ones that built Star. All these people who are here, we are really humbly thankful for you all for making us reach where we are.
Mr. Tarun has always been very helpful.
Yes.
And very warm and friendly.
Thank you so much, sir. Thank you. In fact, all the hoteliers here, even with the Meras, they've been very kind, and even T24 has been such a. I think all the faces over here, I can see all the gentlemen. I think thank you. No, she's coming in. So once she's promised once she crosses 100 hotels, she will be giving Star stake in her company.
That won't happen.
Thanks, Aniket.
Yeah.
So, as part of revenue management seminar, we spoke about few areas: data, strategy, process, software, everything what brings revenue management on the table. But the credit should be given to the revenue managers, because human-centric approach, while technology is required to support, capitalize, help, all of that, but that human-centric approach, what revenue managers bring on the table to capitalize on what is going to happen in future, I think that credit should be given to the revenue managers for what they are able to bring on the table.
Yeah, and I would like to add that the technology is only a car, and how well the car is driven is very important. So you require a good driver to drive the car, right? So that's where the revenue manager comes in. Yeah, and I think truly I totally agree with you, Sai, that revenue management needs to be recognized. If money is important, even if you have one room, I heard somebody say we have only 5 rooms or 10 rooms. I think even if you have one room and you're doing business, I think revenue management is a must.
And the second narrative is there are no driverless cars. We all hear about it, but we have not seen it. So it doesn't exist. What we are not aware is not. It doesn't exist. So we talk about technology, but I think revenue managers drive it, as Rajesh said. They are the drivers of it.
Pocket matters.
So if you are able to.
Join me, I'll ensure your pocket is not burned.
It should be full for both of us.
That
But if you are doing everything on your own, you don't require revenue manager. If you understand the system and the tools you have and everything, you don't require revenue.
So
Okay,
can I one second? I would like to tell you, so when you go, if you have a knee problem,
I was about to say this.
if you have a knee problem and you go to your GP and you can do a physiotherapist, but if you require surgery, you will go to a knee surgeon. That's why if revenue is very important, you will not believe it, Rahul, and you have been so oldly associated with Star. Many larger chain groups have their own revenue management teams and take external help for revenue management as auditors. Even you guys do, right? I know that you all also look at revenue very closely, and Mr. Ramani is so close to us. But
we do 75% of the work on our own.
yes, yes. No, it's always good to be. It's always good to be self-service. He's not saying that revenue management. See, you do revenue management for the company, so that itself is a revenue manager.
Who doesn't? I'll answer that. Who doesn't need an extra buck? You don't?
No,
who doesn't need an extra buck?
We all need.
That's the answer.
What we are saying is, we are hungry to sell the rooms.
Absolutely.
We are hungry to earn money.
See, what happens is, it's about expertise. Okay?
OTA is not only
So revenue management is not only OTAs and not only changing rates and inventory. There is a lot more to it.
I understand that. I mean, it depends like how you use the tools and everything.
Yeah.
And at the same time, people were saying that OTAs will kill your revenue.
Yes, it will.
But if you use it properly, it can give you revenue.
OTAs, as I was telling ma'am, is a.
And there are certain OTAs like Booking.com wherein foreigners only book
through them.
Booking.com. Right?
See,
Expedia.
OTAs is a variable cost. That is what we all need to understand. OTAs is not a fixed cost.
Those are the biggest volume hotels.
No, but
Expedia is out of market
but
at the moment.
the quality of
It's out of market.
because the borders were closer.
No, even their team, if you analyze,
Yeah, in
Expedia
India,
is out of market at the
but
moment.
the quality of the customers that we see internationally coming in via Expedia booking, so you can't ignore them.
Give me bookings.
But right now there are no customers coming from outside.
Agreed, but Expedia also has a good customer base in India itself. It does.
Not
But at the moment, yeah, they are nowhere seen in the market. Let's wait for the skies to open and
Yeah.
I think let's see.
So I want to, sorry. Go ahead.
They had only international market, not
Yeah.
domestic market in India.
They're not strong.
My answer to you would be is that what you're also doing is a revenue management role. So that is
So you
important.
don't need to replace you, no.
No. What he's saying is that you
are doing it yourself.
No, so-
you are also revenue manager.
no
Absolutely.
exactly. So he's saying what your role is very important. Even she's come up from this line.
Yeah.
So the respect for revenue management, what he does, what you do, what she does, has to be acknowledged. That's
That's why
what
he
they
said
are.
it's accurate.
Absolutely correct.
So, if for example, we talk about top 5 hotel groups in the world, likes of Marriott to Hyatt to Hilton to Accor, I'm sure they all have revenue managers, a dedicated, a focused one,
Yes.
right? We can't challenge their business model because they've been pioneers of what they've been doing, right? So yes, what we are here to say is somebody needs to do this proactive, focused work. Right? If you can't do, you need to bring somebody who understands that domain or a professional is what we are saying. We are not here to say, like, revenue managers, I don't think so. The narrative, we cannot challenge what brands have been successful with.
I would add to that, there is a quote written in our office. Whenever you have the time, please come in. There is a quote called clarity affords focus. Clarity affords focus. So if you have the clarity of the subject, you'll be able to focus. If you have operations, you have sales. I started off as a sales executive, then FOM, then that is how you climb the ladder, that is how you get the experience, and with that you also need the correct education for a certain subject. So that's where the expertise come in. Like I agree with him, I was also about to give you the same example that a GP will not be able to solve your knee problem. You will have to go to an orthopedic for that. That's where the difference is. And that difference will show in numbers.
Also there is a bit of misunderstanding around a profile or a day-to-day work what revenue manager does. While OTA, price change, a strategy is one piece of it. At a global level, if a revenue manager forecast defaults by 3% or 5%, which all listed companies like a Marriott, based on revenue managers forecast, they share those revenue forecasts with share market and their price value goes up and down. Imagine a micro percentage defaults here and there, what impact it has on their share value, which directly relates to the stakeholders. So what we see from our frame of mind is a piece of revenue management, while the entire world is very different.
Alright, thank you Sai, Ishita and Rajesh. I think we've had a wonderful session. We've addressed all the troubles of hoteliers, hotel owners. I think one gentleman in the crowd once told me that having a hotel is vanity. Seeing business come in is sanity, and what you get at the end of the month is reality. So I think to make our dreams reality, I'm sure, is he there? I don't think he's there, he's moved out. So I think to make our dreams a reality and translate to revenues, I think the take it is you preserve our best practices, improvise on them, and of course do revenue management. Revenue management is not only optimizing your room revenues, but optimizing revenues from various other streams as well, and not just OTAs also. So I think we need to look at the overall picture. That's the take. Thank you so much for everyone participating, and please join us for the high tea. Over to you, Sarah, please.
Thank you. Friends, we have come to an end of this very important seminar on HRAWI Revenue Management Seminar, and I'm sure that whatever you have heard from our distinguished speakers will go a long way in our career. On behalf of the association, the chairman of the seminar subcommittee, Mr. Gurveer Bedi, I wish to extend my sincere thanks to Mr. Sainath, Mr. Rajesh and Ms. Shishita. Thank you very much for having taken time out of their busy schedule to share with us their views and expertise and training us. I'm sure the insights shared by them will be remembered by each and everyone over here. On behalf of the association, I would also like to extend my special thanks to the management of Hotel Marine Plaza, Mr. Sanjeev Shekhar, Mr. Uday, and the entire team, without whose support this seminar would not have been possible. Once again, thank you very much, and please join us for the high tea. Thank you. And have a good evening.
Guys, we can clap. You just say this thank you.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you, Rajesh.
Thank you so much.